Every day at 4 p.m., right after Ellen, is a show called Take 5.
Welcome to Take 5.
It covers the news of the day, but not how you would expect.
Didn't think this would probably work.
No other show in Western Washington using your opinions, photos, videos, and flair like Take 5.
Walk on a roll.
That sounds amazing.
You literally shape the direction of each show.
What do you want to talk about?
So tune in, text in, and view your community in a whole new way. Only on King 5.
I honestly think that the most innovative thing that we have seen in news and seen on Take 5 is texting.
The text messaging component of Take 5 is huge. Not only does it give you the opportunity to communicate with us live during the show, and a lot of people are quite surprised when they realize that it really is us on the other end and we really are responding to you sometimes during the show and even when you see us talking.
You had texts coming in. Remember you asked that one person if this was their first cruise or not, because they said I think they were going on a 15-day worldly cruise. So they responded, and I want to read it to you. Tell them that it would be my first cruise. My husband passed away 3 years ago. We had been married 49 years, and we're planning this for our 50th. But he passed too soon, and I would love to fulfill this in my lifetime. So
That's very sweet. Good for you for going. Absolutely.
I know. And I was like, that is truly amazing.
I can't tell you what a game changer it is for the show and honestly for news in general, because we can actually communicate so fast. The idea that we've made something so simple and so accessible through your phone and you don't have to be on a social media platform really makes an impact.
I just really think this is the future of news and content. I really do. I think that we all need to do a better job of interacting with viewers and living the lives that we're covering and supporting each other.
So, any ideas on what they should do? And I'm not kidding, you guys had so many great ideas. There was the Pacific Science Center.
5 is like one of those things where we can talk about some of the fun things and show our kids every day going to school, or we can talk about serious topics like depression or teen suicide or, just politics, some of the things that are really pressing in people's lives.
I was hoping it was the winning lotto ticket, but I'll take what you have here.
When Seattle got a new police chief, the best questions, I'm not even kidding, the best questions came from the 5 Hive. So, we put it out there and we said, hey, if you could ask the police candidates, the police chief candidates, anything, what would you ask? And, I think people underestimated some of the questions that would be coming out of the 5 Hive. They were incredible. They were thoughtful, they were intelligent, and the best segment that came from the police chief search was from the 5 Hive.
It says, is there new technology you want to investigate to make the department more efficient and effective? And this is from Kim.
And our producers are working behind the scenes to make sure that your text messages get into the show, and that way we can move the conversation forward.
Can we pull up another text? We just got one that came in that we want to read.
We've got text messages.
Yeah, they're coming in. I feel my phone buzzing as we speak here.
Here we go. How about this? This came in over a text.
And if there's a story you want to learn more about, we set up keywords. So all you have to do is text us that keyword and we'll send you back a link.
You guys can text the word book to the number on the screen. We'll give you a link to Trevor's book so you guys can get informed on that.
All you have to do is text the word safe and we will send you a link.
Text the word hike to the number on the screen. We will shoot you back a list of those wheelchair accessible hikes.
You can text HIVE to 206-448-4545 and you can chime in as well.
So there you have it. Pretty straightforward, right? But the big thing is we want to generate conversation. Shoot us a text, let us know what you want to talk about, and we look forward to hearing from you. Ready to start the show?
Ready to go?
Let's do it.
We're going to learn something. We're not content with just the headlines or the typical talking points.
It's a refreshingly honest conversation about what's going on.
It's about connecting our community and doing something to really make a difference.
We're taking today's stories and bringing positivity back.
Well, hi everybody, and welcome to Take 5 here on King 5. It's our maiden voyage, our first show. I'm Chris Cashman. We're thrilled that you would be here. Big thank you to our opening act, Ellen DeGeneres. She's been keeping that time slot warm for us for so long. Let's introduce you to the gang here. Jordan Steele.
What's up?
Get up.
Hey, everybody.
I got to get him a wash. We'll get him a wash. Come on over here.
Sorry about that.
Angela Russell is here. Michelle Lee is here. And we're thrilled that you are here on our very first show. This is it.
This is
it.
Yes.
Is your heart pounding, like beating a little bit?
A little bit.
and more.
Let's tell them why this is unique.
One of the cool things that we're going to do here on our show is to have the ability to communicate with us via text message. It might seem old school, but you know, social media these days, some people are getting off it. It's an easy way to contact us. You are our 5th host, so we want to talk to you. We want you to comment on some of the topics that we have today. 206-448-4545. That's the number. It'll pop up on the screen throughout different conversations that we have throughout the show today. The big one is, what stories would you like to see?
Right.
We're trying to be different.
It's an easy one.
Yeah.
We want to listen. And you know, it really is a time to celebrate. And so we're going to be checking in with the company Zip Whip, and they're going to be having a toast for us. And we're going to tell you how they played a part in making the show happen. It's exciting stuff. Can't wait to hear it. Hey, Zip Whip. Hi there. We'll check in with them in just a bit. Look at that
So these are just some of the people that make this software, this ability possible. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. They do warn us that we will probably be overwhelmed by how many text messages you will send. So again,
I just got one.
what kind of questions, what kind of stories would you like us to feature here on the show? 206-448-4545. Text us anytime during the show.
We love it. Also, you know, we like to highlight game changers. We've been talking about, you know, what kind of segments we want. So I want you to check out 9-year-old Jaden Nelson. She is of PL in Lewis County. And you guys get this, she is throwing out the first pitch at the Mariners game tonight as they salute their volunteers. And she's so amazing, putting together a lot of fundraisers for sick kids. We are going to talk to her before she hits the mound at Safeco. You are going to love her. We're going to hear from her in just a few minutes. Can you hear all those notifications going up? That's our iPad.
She's adorable.
You know, other shows might hide the fact that all of their phones are buzzing and blinging, but that's you guys texting us at 206-448-4545.
We knew to silence our phones, not our iPads.
We're going to respond. We already see a lot of story suggestions, the kind of stuff you want to see on the show, but there's a lot going on, a lot we've got to get to today here on the show, so let's jump into some of the stories happening. We call this the Fast Five, ladies and gentlemen. Some interesting stories happening here. King County's new sheriff made her first big announcement regarding an incident from last August. Detective Rich Rowe pointed a gun at a motorcyclist during a traffic stop. Sheriff Mitzi Johanknecht, she addressed the media just this morning.
I've decided that Detective Rowe's behavior that day lacked courtesy and was conduct unbecoming a member of the King County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff Johanknecht said Rowe agreed he was wrong and apologized. Rowe faces a 5-day suspension. Jenna Bush Hager got emotional on the Today Show while talking about her 92-year-old grandmother, Barbara Bush. Former First Lady has been treated for Graves' disease for 5 years now, and this weekend she decided she's not going to seek additional medical treatment there. Former FBI Director James Comey says Donald Trump is morally unfit to be president. Comey made these comments part of a promotional tour for his book out tomorrow, and the book tour officially starts Wednesday, actually, with a sold-out Comey stop in Seattle on Sunday at Seattle University. Rebuilding trust is the focus of a Kent School District community meeting tonight at 6 p.m., the first of several meetings hosted by Superintendent Calvin Watts, who has faced criticism recently, allegedly a mishandling communication about the school's budget. And an incredible donation, and no one to thank, almost. A woman known simply as Suzanne made her largest ever philanthropic gift to a Seattle radio station, KEXP. They're our friends. She donated just under $10 million. KEXP says Suzanne loves music, wanted to say thank you, but she also wants to be anonymous. By the way, if you want to read more about any of these stories, you can just text us. Text the keyword FAST. Just text FAST to 206-448-4545. We'll kick you back those stories. You
and
can
you'll
read
probably
all
hear
about
your notifications going off here.
The KEXP story is so unique. I mean, it's listener generated, so I mean, obviously they rely on donations, but we're going to team up with them. I mean, we're going to be doing shows.
We should point out this is interesting timing for us because we're going to be out there next Friday live live at KEXP. We'll take you over to their cool new space at Seattle Center.
That's going to be fun. All right, so you had the Fast Five. Can I top that like maybe a sixth story? I'm going to bring in some weather knowledge for you because we all know the rain is driving us a little crazy. It typically happens this time of year, but you may not have known it. This is one of the rainiest Aprils ever, and we're only halfway through the month. All this rain is causing problems, as you can see. Check out this mudslide. It was a miniature mudslide or a tiny one, but still it had that tree come across the tracks. This happened around 6 this morning. The north lane is still closed, and there could be potential for more landslides to come. Now, we talk about the conditions. Let's walk with me over here real quick. If you guys can see, I mean, it's not really a beautiful April day. We still have cloud cover. It is still a little, as I like to call, but at least it's not pouring rain, right? Check out some statistics. Look at this. So 1991, the rainiest April ever, just about 6.5 inches. Now this year, we're at number 4. If we get no more rain, we'll be at the 4th wettest April ever, but this will make you happier, right? We go from now until June. We're in between the below average rain chances and the above average rain chances, which means I think we could get to some more sunshine. So hopefully you guys can get off my back, get a little bit more sun out here.
You know what's so great? Is these text messages are pouring in and we can't even silence the notifications. Not only am I seeing text messages saying, hey, this is so great, we can text you during the show, but as you were giving the forecast, people said, don't forget about the weather. I still want to know about the weather.
Good.
And you delivered it right on.
We just knew.
That's the long
right on cue. You guys wouldn't believe how many text messages we're getting. We're going to get to some of those coming up.
All right, so now let's head on over to Michelle Lee. She is at our little touch screen, giving us a little idea of what's going on from this point forward.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the Five Hive, and that is our social community brought together to do good. And I love this because we are on Facebook. This is a closed Facebook group for now, and if you want to go to our link, very easy. You can text Hive to 448-4545 and it will get you in there, give you a link, or you can go to Facebook and search for Take 5. But I love this because we already have more than 675 people there because we've been, opening this Hive up just for people in general. And so, it's like people sharing their things that are going on in their families, or people who work at nonprofits and kind of what they need. So we've got all kinds of discussions going on there as well. And I want to thank Janet Thomas because today she shared and reminded us that the Special Olympics is going to be held in Seattle this summer, and they're still in need of volunteers. So if you want to be a volunteer, you can go to the Five Hive and click on this story, on this little post. It's pinned at the very top of the page. But I mean, I love the Five Hive because everyone is so nice there and respectful, and it is a closed group for now. I don't know if that's going to change.
Ooh, exclusive.
Exclusive, it's safe.
I got to tell you what, since we're living in this world of social media and likes and shares and all that, I feel so popular right now. I think I've got about 150 text messages in the last 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and we hear the beeps as well. We're trying to silence it. ZipWhip warned us that you would text us in droves, and you are, and we love it, and we're going to get your feedback coming up in a little bit. In fact, I should point out that, believe it or not, the first text message was sent back in 1992. Today, we're going to have to add to this based on what I'm hearing on my own phone. 8 trillion texts are sent worldwide every year. So we're just proud to pile on, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. You can text us live during the show. You already know that now, thanks to a fun new partner. They're having a party upstairs. I had a chance to speak with the CEO. Well, I didn't talk to him, but... Cool. Awesome. Text me later. All right. All right. And our thanks to ZipWhip, strategic partnership, by the way. They are upstairs little insider tip here at King 5 at Home Plate Center, and they are proposing a little toast to us. They're having a celebration up there while we're down here doing all the heavy lifting.
Thanks, you guys. Shout out to ZipWhip. We really appreciate the partnership.
And you were right, by the way. Everybody in Seattle from the 509 has even texted us. In fact, Jordan, they said, hey, what's the 24-hour forecast for Wenatchee?
Oh, it's a good question.
You're on the hot
seat. Well, the fact that you're on the east side, drier, so that's good. Maybe some sunshine.
And someone else texted that they would like us to talk about lupus awareness.
Okay.
And someone also said, hey, tell us about the best places to go and explore the area. And we do have a segment for that you'll be hearing about, the Pride of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
Jordan will be showing you like the coolest stuff to do around here.
Yeah.
So really excited about that.
Yeah.
But I guess enough about us, and we should get to more of the news. So let's do it. A lot of people today talking about Starbucks, the situation around a restaurant there. It really escalated today in Philadelphia with protesters effectively shutting down the store and chanting that Starbucks is anti-black. Now, while this incident sparked a lot of anger, there is a lot of good that's already coming out of this. And I want to take a moment to highlight that and how it relates to you. And this is part of a segment here on Take 5 that we call the Deep Dive. It is where we go beyond the headlines to dive deeper into the nuances of an issue. So for this Starbucks story, there are 3 things I want to point out that are evidence that we as a community might end up being better for this. One has to do with speaking up. This is the woman whose video of the arrest has been shared 4 million times, Melissa DePino. She saw what was happening and started recording. She even tweeted the Starbucks. And what she saw is the video here. 2 men being arrested for trespassing after they hadn't purchased anything and refused to leave. They said at the time they were waiting for a friend. Ever since on Twitter, she has an ask of anyone willing to listen. I wanted to show you the tweet. Here it is. Ever since I posted this, I've had white strangers and friends say, there must be something more to this story. That assumption is a big part of the problem. It does happen all the time, just not to you and me. Believe it and speak up. Look, whether it's about racial injustice, bullying, or child abuse, that push to speak up when you see something wrong is a great reminder for us all, don't you think? And it's been retweeted 28,000 times. The second positive sign is that Starbucks has announced plans to train employees in unconscious bias. And here's a clip of the message the CEO, Kevin Johnson, posted on Facebook.
Now, there's been some calls for us to take action on the store manager. I believe that blame is misplaced. In fact, I think the focus of fixing this, I own it. This is a management issue, and I am accountable to ensure we address the policy and the practice and the training that led to this outcome.
And that brings us to the third thing that stands out as a potential game-changing moment. More people are talking about what's called implicit bias or unconscious bias. Basically, the idea that you can judge and stereotype without being aware and while having good intentions. There have been a lot of studies on it, but a show here on NBC is a great modern-day example of attempts to avoid that bias. You know that show, The Voice, which is a talent show. They have the blind audition so that they aren't influenced by how a person looks or dresses, only the voice. And I do want to be clear about one thing. I mean, we aren't always able to take a story like this and highlight the good in it. But in this case, because we had a bystander speak up and a company not only accept responsibility, but outlining a plan to implement a change, this is a moment when we can take 5 to acknowledge it and ultimately learn from it.
Right. You know, it's so funny when you said Melissa tweeted about all these white responses saying, I want to know the full side of the story. Right. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, okay, hold on a second. Before I make any kind of judgment, I want to know what the barista was going through. Did she or he feel threatened? What was actually going through that person's mind in order for them to call the police and kick those people out? So I don't know if that makes me you know, racist by any means. I just want to know the full story, and that's my own personal perspective. But with this being said, I really like the fact that so many of us have a voice now. Everybody's standing up. Kids, women. It's making our world more transparent, which is going to make everything so much better in the long run. And so I think social media is helping in that aspect of it, because you can get the video, you can get it out there and say, this is what I saw, and this is, you know, this is racial injustice, or, well, the whole story's not there, this is what I saw. So that's just what's going on through my mind too.
Yeah, well, I feel like I just had a sermon. Amen. That was good.
It's not racist to want to know the whole
It's human.
Right.
It's human. And she's just saying it is unbelievable, but there's also a part of it that's like, no, we need to recognize this is happening to people. And I know we're short on time, but I will add, I remember less than a year ago, I was in a neighborhood to return a friend's phone. She had left it at my mom's house. And I get out of the car, and this couple, they come up to me and say, "What are you doing in my neighborhood?" And I'm like, "I'm just returning my friend's phone." And they chased me to the car. Oh, I'm so serious. And I was like, "No, I'm just trying to return my friend's phone." And they were like, "Get out of our neighborhood. I know what you're doing here." I mean, and this was just a year ago.
Ignorance is a lot.
So I mean, it does happen, but I understand the need to know more, and we should have both. We can be able to hold both.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shock
I
you.
feel so sorry. I'm
There are many
shocked.
stories like that, you know, and it's like, no, I'm a journalist. Anyway.
Well, I do want to talk about this other incident that happened at another Starbucks, this time in Los Angeles. So I'm going to walk over to the monitor with Ryan. Hopefully this will work for us. This was posted by a guy named Brandon, I want to make sure, Brandon Ward, on Saturday. But it was recently posted by Sean King. He's an activist. It was posted today. And what you're kind of looking at is a bathroom door right now. So you're going to see more in just a little bit. But in the video, you learn that Brandon Ward, the person behind this video, was refused a bathroom code in Starbucks. And then he was waiting for this person to come out. This person is a white man. And he said, "Hey, did you buy anything before you went to the restroom?" He said, "No, I didn't." So eventually, you're going to see Brandon have a confrontation with a Starbucks barista, and he ends up leaving. So I wish we knew a lot more about this story, but it certainly is something that a lot of people are talking about today, and it's certainly something that maybe Starbucks will have to address. But again, it looks like it was posted on Saturday. Of course, it could have happened months ago, for all we know.
Well, it's certainly topical, and we know that the internet's reacting. We want you to react as much as I don't want to melt my phone anymore. 206-448-4545. What we're wondering is, do you see this as an isolated incident? Was it that location in Philly? Do you see this as a bigger? Is this a Starbucks problem? Is this a society problem? We know at large it is indeed. But what do you think? Are you avoiding Starbucks today? Are you okay with supporting your local chain? Have they treated you right? 206-448-4545. Is this isolated or a bigger problem? We're going to read some of your answers coming up. By the way, we are getting a lot of texts to kick off the show. We just asked you about story ideas. And what I love is what I'm reading. Look at all these. Communities have fundraisers. On-air awareness would be great. Community heroes, acts of kindness.
We're gonna do
Good news.
All of that today.
All of that.
That's a lot of what we're doing here on the show. We've basically been doing the show for a couple of months, just nobody's been watching. It was like junior high all over again. I was talking to the closet. So here we are, and we're on the air, and we're going to read a lot of your responses coming up.
And this is one of our favorite parts of the show, where we get to go give you a little inside look from our producer's side of things. So Stephanie is in the booth directing the show. What's up, Steph?
Hey guys, I'm back here in the booth. This is where I'm the producer, Doug's the director. He was a little bit offended. I'm not directing, I'm just producing back here.
My apologies.
But so when you were reading those story ideas coming in through the text messages, I was wondering, what about mystery? Because this is a little bit of a mystery that we're trying to solve here on Take 5. Let's take a look at the video, Doug. This is a family in Mountain Lake Terrace. They had 3 pink flamingos on their lawn, and one day they realized that one was missing. And there was a note there, and it said, "I need to get out of this cage for a while. I'm going on vacation." And then a few weeks later, you see that flamingo right there that has stuff around its neck? That's the one that showed back up. And they had a note letting the family know there's now a Facebook page. Let's look at that, Doug. This is a Facebook page about all of the adventures that flamingo went on. They went the Hoover Dam, Las Vegas, the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, because you just kind of have to do that. And the crazy part about all of this is we still don't know who did it.
No idea who took the flamingo.
It is completely a mystery.
That makes it kind of fun, actually, knowing that some random person just thought he looked like he needed a vacation and took him on one.
He still does. He's got rain dripping from his beak.
So this is me saying it's our first day. I think we should solve a mystery on our very first day. So if you know who it is, text us, let us know. Let's figure out who's behind this whole thing.
I'm just sort of sad that flamingo's more traveled than I am.
I was thinking the same thing.
Man.
I want to go on vacation like that.
Yeah, come take us. No.
All right, we've got a lot more coming up on Take 5.
Yes.
You know, this is a brand new show, like we talked about, and so we thought, think of it as like a flower, right? You plant the seed, we want to nurture it. Who knows flowers more than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Cisco Morris? He's going to give us some perspective on how to keep this show alive and beautiful.
You bet.
Next.
Because we're simply getting too many responses, but we are going to weed through them. We love it. You're giving great story ideas, not only what kind of stories you want to you want to see on the show, which for the most part are positive, uplifting. We got it. We're right on page with you on that one. But also a lot of people reacting to Starbucks and what's going on. And some people commenting from the 206 just saying, I'll continue to go there. Some people see this as an isolated incident, and a lot of people just pointing out, the obvious, saying, look, as long as the media, like us, point out race, they aren't helping. To each their own. That's from the 503, in fact. So we got people even from out of the area weighing in.
Thank you guys so much.
So thanks for your opinions.
Well, sorry, real quick though, I do want to read one because it touched me real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going so fast, but this one really touched me. It said, the Starbucks thing, it's an everywhere thing. I was just homeless due to drugs, but I'm clean now and live in a loving home now. But that's why businesses act like that, because that's the only place to get warm and clean up and or do drugs in private is in the bathroom. So this person was homeless, now clean, in a loving situation. I mean, I'm really impacted by that. That's really incredible. And I will say, because I worked the morning show, I used to use Starbucks because that was the place that was open at 5 o'clock
That
in
was
the
your
morning.
office? That was my office, too.
And
the last show I launched was out of a Starbucks. I don't think they know that.
But a lot of people are using the restrooms at 5 o'clock in the morning in Starbucks. So I do.
And someone else commented on that. An issue is a lack of public bathrooms in urban spaces, and one of them anyway.
Look at these messages we've got coming in here. You can text us too today, 206-448-4545. We wanted to know, outside of the Starbucks situation, what kind of story ideas you want to see from us. Will the weather even get better? Jordan's got some news on that coming up. Senior living, how hard is it for people over 55 to find housing in Seattle? How about a story on potential names for Seattle's probable NHL team? Ooh, we talk about that on the Next Best podcast.
Yes.
Maybe segments on local county weekend happenings. The great news is, just about everything people are asking for and suggesting, we're working on. We're doing that.
Yeah.
We got it. We're going to make you smile. We're going to talk about the community. We're going to talk about ways you can volunteer on the weekend. If you're one of those organizations, we got you. So this is great.
You guys ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Hey, question. Do you guys have the national push alert settings like CNN, Pop Sugar, and all that come to your phone?
Pop Sugar?
I guess that's my wife.
This year I thought I want to do something, and I want to teach people something that we can all do for free. That will help the planet.
Just look up the hashtag blogging. It's a combination of jogging and picking up garbage.
Apparently somebody's done with their soda and their responsibilities. I'm trying to set an example. 1, 2, 3, go.
That's a legit gag reflex.
Let's tell them why this is unique.
One of the cool things that we're going to do here on our show is to have the ability to communicate with us via text message.
I got to read this one that just came in just because. I work at a different TV station in Seattle. No shade, but loving this show. So fun.
The Five Hive is our way to connect people on social media to do good, and we really rely on our worker bees to spread the best buzz out there. Share a story, give a shout out to someone amazing in your community, or help us amplify a message to make change.
And just a reminder, if anyone has a group that needs help, you need volunteers, make sure you let us know. These students are very important because you guys actually train to help other people in emergencies.
We'd like to donate, if it's okay with you, a walk-on role onto our show one day. So that would be your auction item if you do accept.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing!
Are you guys ready to play? Here are the rules. Keep it clean, no biting, no messing up the moneymaker.
But we do want to talk. Go ahead. No, go. We want to talk about what's coming up in the 5 o'clock as people leave the building.
We thought it would be the perfect time to deep dive into the state of this world, television news. How many times have you heard this about television news?
I don't watch local TV news.
I really don't watch local news.
It seems really exaggerated.
Take 5 is about having honest conversations and refusing to be bystanders. Sorry it's a little chaotic behind the scenes, but we just got word about some breaking news that former First Lady, we just spoke about her visit to Child Haven in Seattle many years ago, and she has died.
This week also happens to be the week that my husband and I are closing a chapter on our infertility journey. And that is because this week we are finally able to announce that we are having a baby.
Yay, that's so great.
Sorry, Jordan, I didn't tell you. I wanted to tell you last week.
I feel so great though.
So we ran out last night. We wanted to get you your first Take 5
That's
onesie.
adorable.
We customized the back, Minnie Lee. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Benny Benicio Bryant.
Closer the better. but now we're picking fights and slamming doors. Hi, Stephanie. My name is Lenny. I'm 6 years old, and I love Marvel Comics. I'm on spring break, so I'm available.
This is it. This is it. The big moment. See, who knew being Iron Man would be so hard, huh? Seems like being Iron Man is kind of like imitating a penguin.
Yeah. Next time, can you just get out of the screen so I can...
Well, I'm being kicked off the set. Yeah, I'm ruining it.
And earlier today, Drew Mickelson said, if you put me in your show, I'll have some animals. So I'm going to toss out live to Drew Mickelson right now. And Drew, did you deliver?
We've worked long enough. You know I'm never going to leave you astray. Speaking of astray, this is not astray.
At this point, instead of making these blanket accusations, we need to come together and find solutions and listen to each other.
We all just need a big hug. Like this, like, come here. Oh yeah, just like that.